Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Talking Xaphoon. And note, this is the correct way to have your reed placed on your instrument with a little bit of the lip showing out at the end. And this is something you should have, something to clean your Xaphoon. You need to keep it clean, because when they're not clean, they're ugly. And also, they respond better when you keep your reed clean and keep this clean. I even put a little fine sandpaper on my reed today because it seemed like it needed a little polish. So, we had a question this week regarding the tone of the notes, what they sound like, what each note on the Xaphoon should sound like. So this is a video aimed at you beginners just starting out on the Xaphoon. And you learn how to make all the sounds, and where you're going to have the opportunity to play along, match your sound to the tone of each note on the Xaphoon. I'll play them as cleanly as I am able to, and we were having some specific issues people were having with not knowing which note sounded right. So here's the sounds. Starting with all the straight fingerings, and I'll do all the low ones first, then I'll go do a little on the upper register, but let's focus on all the first octave and a fourth from C to F on the low register. All covered is a C. Always play with good posture, because we need to bring the sound into ourselves when we play. We do that by keeping our back straight, our shoulders relaxed. If we hunch forward, we shrink our air cavity, and everything gets squinched. It'll go sharp. So to get a full, natural, deep tone, just relax and play open. The Xaphoon should be at an angle to your mouth. We go like that or like that when we want to alter the tone. It will go flat if we raise it out. I've got some light on my video there. Fix that a little. So we'll do all the straight fingerings, lifting fingers one at a time, playing the D. E. F. G. We only need the left hand. Of course, keeping this down here on or off the hole to balance the instrument. A, it doesn't go to B, it goes to a B flat. And that's why this is actually kind of in the key of F, if you play all the natural notes on the Xaphoon. But starting from C, it's like a C Mixolydian scale. So, so the B flat then. From B flat, one more finger, and just using the thumb and forefinger on hole 1, and well, the thumb is considered 2. The pinch finger is a C, so I like to start from C because C, I'm always pretty sure I'm going to play that right as it uses the most length, and it just, yeah, it helps you get your focused, or you're focused on the tonality. And then if we lift the thumb and only cover the top hole, the number 1 hole, we play a D. If we lift that, we go up a minor third to a F. So I think play F chord on that. Now, I tell you what we'll do. We'll come down then with all the cross fingers. So first cross finger down from the F is actually the E. It's what we use for the E, simply covering the thumb. And it's technically a cross finger because the number 1 hole is open above it on the air column. So, E. E flat is also a cross finger. We keep the thumb hole for the E and add some more holes to cover. It brings the tone down further a half step. So the only hole open here is the number 1 for your forefinger. And index, ring, and pinky are covering on the right, and of course the pinky down here, either the whole 9 hole or next to it. And we play an E flat. I like that note. And from E flat, you know the D flat or C sharp is the next cross finger. The thumb hole is open, and the first 3 holes are covered. 1, 2, and 3. And nothing else needs to be covered. That's your D flat C sharp. C sharp, down to C, down to B. B natural is a cross finger. What you do is you take your C fingering, 2 pinched holes, and you add fingers, ring finger and pinky, leaving the index number 3 hole there open. And on the right hand, put your first finger on the that's hole number 6, and then we also have the pinky on the bottom, and these middle 2 are open. The 7 and 8 holes are opened, and just play it. Those can be up high. There's no need to be near them. We can do things by going near them, but that's for another lesson. B, down to B flat we know, A we know, A flat. We add some fingers onto the A flat in a cross finger, so we skip the G hole, the number 5 right there, and cover 6, 7, and 8, this time leaving our pinky off of the number 9 hole. So the first 3 fingers of each hand are covering holes, and the thumb hole is covered. A flat. Ready? There, A flat, we know the G, we did the G flat. So we take the G fingering, again it's a simple cross finger, we skip the number 6 hole, and this time 7, 8, and 9 are all covered. So this is fingering with only 1 hole on the instrument open, and that is your F sharp or G flat. Sharp, we know F, we know E. Now E flat, this is one I had trouble when I was starting the Xaphoon. The E flat skips the number 8 hole and closes the number 9 hole. That's just doing that sometimes isn't enough to bring the E all the way down to the E flat. So the key there is your ring finger on the right hand needs to be the right distance above hole number 8. Personally, it works for me if it's just relaxed against your index finger, just a little above it, kind of in an angle like that. I'm having a little trouble doing this. To look at this, I do it by feeling. Okay, like that. Okay, kind of like that is how I have it when I'm playing, so I know that my E flat is going to sound like this. As if you move a third finger, it'll go like. So find the right position, know what it feels like, and then have some confidence when you play that note. I actually kind of had trouble raising my finger up high enough when I first started, so I was doing finger exercises, pushing against this finger with resistance until it didn't take much, and then it just found its way to get up high enough off that note the way it needed to. And now one more cross fingering, I believe. So if we take the D, this is actually not a cross fingering, this is the one half whole note you need to know. I do this by feeling. I kind of know that this part of my pinky is going to feel the edge. So you got to learn where it works best for you and what it feels like. And I almost think of it like as an imaginary invisible key on the instrument, that I can play that with confidence, that I'm going to know it's D flat or C sharp, which should sound like this. Going through the notes chromatically. It is a little tricky and awkward going from the C to the D flat, and when you use that note, it puts your hand off to the side, so when you're playing other notes, your hand is kind of off kilter, so you got to bring it back. It's one thing that makes that particular note a little bit awkward. But for now, that's the basic fingering. Now, we'll do a little bit on the upper register right now, because the same fingerings, and if you squeak when you're playing any of the low notes, chances are these are the notes that you'll be getting. So if you take your low C fingering, we'll just do the straight ones first. That's a G. That's an A. One more goes to a B flat. And one more is a B. And then C. And if you continue the process beyond what's on the fingering chart from the C, and if you cross-hole that, you can make that be a D flat or C sharp. After that, it gets hairy. It's all about opening up more holes and having very tight control, listening to what you're doing. So don't normally, I'll go up to E flat occasionally, but that's about the limit. The notes that can be played up there maybe shouldn't be played. So that's why the range is basically up to the low C to C. And that covers this lesson. Learn, especially if you're a beginner, to the notes of the low register. It can take a month or more to get your embouchure, your strength up, your intensity of feeling to play that upper register. It took me a while, because when I started the Xaphoon, I had been playing the harmonica for a while, which does 0 for a reed embouchure. It's quite a different embouchure. I used to play clarinet, but have not played for a long time. So, until the next episode, if you have questions, ask in the comments below. Remember, you can subscribe to our videos somewhere in the general vicinity of the down there if you're on YouTube, if you want to hear more of these crazy things. And I will be talking about other fingering techniques and showing how to play tunes and things from time to time, and anything of interest to Xaphoon players. I'd like to feature some examples of Xaphoon players who are quite accomplished in their playing. Meanwhile, someone less accomplished will accompany you to the end of the video. We'll see you all later, and